And then here is the, whoop. Hey guys, welcome to the Knit Now Swatch Later podcast channel. My name is Courtney. Today I'm going to be talking about the Dozen Socks Make Along, knitting projects that I've been working on, what I've been reading, and whatever other crafty nonsense I've been getting up to lately. So if that sounds like something that suits your fancy, grab a project and a cup of something and stick around. You can find me on Ravelry as Pup and on Instagram as Knit Now Swatch Later. As always, everything that I talk about will be in the description box down below. So the hashtag for the make along is hashtag a dozen socks 25, and I will show a few of the hashtag posts over on Instagram up in this corner here. And to participate, all you have to do is post a finished pair of socks in the Ravelry finished object thread. There are currently 47 entries, which is super exciting. And if you used stash yarn, you get to post twice. It's not too late to join. Make sure that you check out the Ravelry thread or episode 81 for more details on the make along. So I'm going to jump into works in progress. I have in my Barley and Pearl bag my April socks that I have been working on. I cast these on April 3rd, and I'm knitting these in West Yorkshire Spinners in the colorway Owl. I'm trying to fish out my other sock here. Alright, so this is the first sock, which we are almost done with. Just a few more rounds of the foot, and then I need to do the toe degreases and finish it off. And then we have this sock that I am in the gusset decreases. I think I'm almost finished with the gusset decreases. So I am knitting these on US size 1 2.25 millimeter ChowGoo 9-inch circulars, and I split my ball of yarn in half, and I have been working on them at the same time, which I am really enjoying. I feel like even though it does seem like they are taking a long time just because of all the stuff we've had going on recently, they do feel like they are working up pretty quickly, and I like that I can just pick up whichever sock I'm on, and if one is in like simple stockinette, I can take that one, or I can, if I have more time, more brain space, I can work on the more complicated one, which with like the gusset decreases or whatever. So I'm enjoying that. And then next up I have in an OG White Rose Fiber Company bag. This is one of the first bags that I made and sold at a craft fair in 2020. So it's always fun to bring this bag back out. So in here I have my Perfect Knit t-shirt by Caitlin Bartold. And I am knitting this out of Yarn Bee Bambootiful in the color Basil. And the needles I'm using are size 6, which is a 4 millimeter. And I'm using wooden, oops, dropping stitches, wooden ChowGoo needles. And I have like, I just joined in my second ball of yarn, whoops, which is exciting. And then I think maybe like, I think I am 10 repeats, so 20 more rounds until I split for the sleeves, which I am really excited about. Here is the yarn tag if you wanted to see it. And then I cast this on March 29th, 2025. So I am making decent progress on it. I will put down below how many days it has been on the needles because I don't know right offhand. So I'm just gonna add it in the editing later. I think it's really fun to track those kinds of things. So I'm gonna try to start doing it on here. Let me know, do you guys care how long your projects are on the needles, or do you just kind of go with the flow? Let me know in the comments down below. In another White Rose Fiber Company bag, I have my, let's see, this is called My Reading Shawl by KF Jones. I cast this on April 5th. And pretty much from the stitch marker. I knit all of this on Easter. So we had a pretty chill Easter at home and I got to spend lots of time knitting, and this is what I chose to work on. So, and I'm knitting this on US size 5 3.75 millimeter needles. I am using Knit Picks Bare Undyed yarn held together with whatever random minis I have in this bag, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It just keeps, as shawls do, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, which is fun but also stressful at the same time because then I have more stitches to knit. So I'm kind of nervous that this is going to get put on hold because I'm going to get too overwhelmed by the number of stitches. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but we shall see. And then the last work in progress that I have on my needles is in this beautiful project bag that I got for my birthday. It is the Spring is Brewing project bag from RowsAndSeams. And in here I have my Salty Days sweater, which I am so excited to have back in the rotation. If you remember from, maybe I even mentioned it in the last podcast, I was using the Knit Companion app on my phone and my phone broke, so we had to send it in to get repaired, and I thought that I had taken screenshots of where I was on this pattern and sent them to Ben, but I don't know what happened to those screenshots, so I lost all my progress in the Knit Companion app. So I had to sit down and try to read my knitting and figure out where I was, and I finally sat down and did it. So here is my Salty Days tee. We are still working in back and forth rows, and this beautiful stitch marker which came with the project bag. Is this the front? Yeah, there's a flower on the front if you can see that. That is marking where I was when I picked this back up. So I've made a good bit of progress on it in the last couple of days, and I am loving it. But I ran out of yarn and I have to cake up some more, which is not my favorite thing in the world to do. So I'm kind of at a standstill on this for hopefully not too long. I just ran out this morning, so hopefully before we leave tonight, I will take a few minutes and cake up a new skein of that yarn. Let's see, and I cast that on November 21st of last year. I'm using Kelborn Woolen's Scout in the colorway Moss Heather, and the needles I'm using are US size 8, which is a 5 millimeter. That's everything that I have on my needles right now. So moving in to books, I did finally finish Fear of No One by E.E. Nelson. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the second book in the series. I am still reading Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, and I think I'm like 72, 75% maybe through that, and I am still enjoying it. It's slower going because it's an audiobook, and I don't care as much for audiobooks as I do ebooks right now, but I am still enjoying it. Since I finished my other book, I am reading Untangle Your Emotions by Jenny Allen. This is the second one in the series. I don't know if it's really a series. Okay, so the first book was called Get Out of Your Head, and I did read that one and I really enjoyed it. So this is the kind of partner book to that one. So I'm not very far in it yet. I'm trying to just read it for a little bit before bed, and then I get really tired and don't get a lot done. So there is that. As far as life and acquisitions, tax season is finally over, which I am so excited about. I have so much more time to knit and just be home and clean my house and stuff like that. So I'm really enjoying the time off. The office is closed for the next couple of weeks, so I'm just trying to take advantage of that time while I have it. So I think in the last episode I was about to leave for the needle felting class hosted by Amy of 3 Tulips Yarn Company over at Presley and Pear, and I have the results of that class. So this is what I made, and I love him. He's so cute, and believe it or not, a pig was not the goal. We were given these this whole thing is around a styrofoam egg, and I just chose these colors, doing like a color ombre thing with these 3 shades of pink. Well, I guess this was purple, and as I was felting these colors together, trying to blend them, I thought that this looked so much like Piglet from Winnie the Pooh that I had to try and make it look like a pig. So I called the teacher over and I asked her like how to do the ears, and I did the snout and the face myself and the curly tail, of course. So I had a lot of fun at this class, so much so that another acquisition that I have is this wool felt kit by Gipony. I just got this off of Amazon. It was like 20 bucks. And inside is everything that you need to make 6 farm animals. So I'm sure you know where this is going. But it just includes all of these. There's a hair in here. This is what it looks like, and it comes with this little pad to do the needle felting on, and all of the little tools that you need, the little needle holder handle thingy, and then each bag has all of the roving that you need to make your little needle felted animal. Right, so it includes a pattern for a duck, a bunny, a cow, a pig, a chicken, and a sheep. So I started out with the chicken, and thank goodness I did, because it turned out horribly. This is like probably the biggest needle felting fail known to mankind. Here is what my chicken looks like. I don't even know which way is up. Oh my gosh. He's just like this solid. He doesn't even look like a chicken. Maybe like a Minecraft chicken. I don't know. Oh, and here's his like thing. So yeah, it's let's see. Expectation, reality. Yeah, this did not go well, but I do think that I figured out what went wrong, because like I said, for the class we were given a styrofoam egg to do the felting onto, so there was already like a solid center to the project, and there's not for this. So I think I just took too much roving at once and then felted it all together, and now it's just this huge like unshapeable mess. So that's why I started with the chicken. The lesson here is always start with the chicken, because chickens are the worst. So I'm just kidding. But yeah, so hopefully the rest of these will go just a little bit better. The dough timer is done. So this weekend I'm heading to a greenhouse with a friend. We are going to look at all the plants and make really poor decisions. So stay tuned for the outcome of that. That is all that I have for this week. So until next time, happy knitting. Bye.